So this is another video on programmatic series. I'm gonna talk about different roles and responsibilities. I was asked this question in the comment section. If I can explain what different roles and responsibilities in programmatic look like, what agency versus product size side company looks like. So I'm gonna directly get into the video right away. Okay, so let's start from here. So we will be discussing programmatic advertising's roles and responsibility. Who does what? What are the roles? What are the tools required and how to break into the industry? All right. We will start with the first role, that is the operations role or the ops role as the companies call it. If you look on LinkedIn, Naukri.com, Indeed, anywhere, you will see job roles for SPE, which is Senior Process Executive, or AM, which is Account Manager role. And in industries like agencies like WPP, Omnicon, they call it a trader. So the person actually running campaigns day to day is titled differently in company to company, but the roles and responsibilities are almost very similar. So what do they actually do? Okay. SPE or Senior Process Executives role includes building and launching campaigns like line items, insertion orders, creative trafficking. So these all roles include the responsibilities that I have been talking about in my recent videos, the things that I explained to you. They are basically part of SPE trader or AM role because that's where you start your programmatic journey. So the second responsibility they share is doing daily pacing checks, which means how much spend is getting by each campaign, like what is the spend done by each campaign or insertion order, whatever duties they have been allotted. So checking daily pacing checks, what is spend versus the required budget, what is the delivery going on versus the goal that we need to achieve. So that's one of the responsibilities and an important responsibility that a trader performs day to day. Then bid and budget optimization across audiences, placements, and device types. So these are like optimization roles and responsibilities. They are doing the checks on how different audiences are performing and how close we are to the goal and what optimizations need to be taken care of to achieve those goals in time. Then checking brand safety and viewability, blocking bad inventory, pulling reports, and sharing performance summaries with AMs, clients. Then doing a QA of tags, testing floodlight pixels, and doing all these checks before we go live. So day to day tasks are actually performed by senior process executives or traders or account managers. And all these roles all these responsibilities that I just told you are performed by the first level, which is the SPE or senior process executive level. You could be hired at an executive level reporting to a SPE or a senior process executive, but your responsibilities would be very much similar. Now, what tools one should be knowing to get into this role? They should be aware of DV360, Trade Desk, Amazon DSP, because these are the core trading seats where you will be performing your day to day tasks. Then, additional knowledge of CM360, Google Ads Manager for ad serving and tags is good for you. I won't say that it is a necessary requirement, but if you know it, it's really good for you. Then Excel is one tool, or Google Sheets is one tool that should be universal across all roles and responsibilities. Basics of Excel everybody should be knowing in when you're getting into programmatic, because you have to check pacing. You will apply trackers, you will do QBRs, which are quarterly business reviews, and for that you would be requiring either Google Sheets or Excel to do these calculations and present your data. Then for data presentation, as it has been mentioned, Looker Studio is again a plus plus. If you know it, it's great. Even if you don't, you can start applying for these roles. But if you know Looker Studio, if you can gain knowledge on that, it's a really great tool to learn and to showcase your data, because professionally many agencies and product side companies use it. for reporting dashboards. Now, what is good to know information here? In many companies, especially large agencies like GOC, Google Operations Center, this exact ops role is simply called as account manager. So, what your designation is, it depends upon company to company, as different companies give different designation names. In agency, somebody working as a senior process executive might be called a account manager when they go to a product side company. So instead of trader or SPE, same daily grind, different title on the badge. The next role that we are going to talk about is how product side company is different from agency side. So it's the same industry, but a very different day to day work life. In a product or platform side company, like if you are being hired for directly for Amazon ads, working on Amazon DSP or the trade desk or DV360, like I started my journey with Google Operations Center working on the product side of DV360. There you are most likely to work as a support team wherein you support different agencies and the roles they are working on, because your roles and responsibilities are mostly towards that particular product and making that particular product better, and in understanding the new features that have been built in your particular DSP. So let's understand it. In a product side company, you own and support the platform itself, not a specific brand budget. That is the basic. You must have got this understanding by now. So work is more technical support here and platform troubleshooting. Rather than working on different clients, you would be doing troubleshooting on the platform itself. Then agencies and advertisers are treated as customers. They are not your client, they are your customers. They are using your product to serve their clients. And focus is feature adoption, the new features that come in, resolving tickets. If somebody is not able to create a campaign or there is some ongoing issue in campaign, you resolve all those tickets. Platform education, policy and compliance, those become your responsibilities. There is no direct media spend ownership or client billing targets. There is no target, no goal that you have to achieve for client. It's just working on the platform side. And the career ladder looks like you become a process executive, then you become a senior process executive, then you become a specialist, then you become a team leader, then you become a ops manager, and then you become a senior ops manager. So that's how the career ladder looks like. In agency side, like Dentsu, Group M, Omnicom, independent agencies. Now, how I am able to tell you all this is because I have worked on both sides, and both sides have their pros and cons. That's a different video altogether if you want to discuss that. However, the basics of agency side are: here you own the client relationship and the client's actual media budget. Okay, now your job responsibilities become strategy plus execution across multiple DSPs platforms at once. Rather than focusing on just DV360 or Amazon, you are focusing on all DSPs that are available where your client wants to run their ad campaigns. It could be Trade Desk, it could be Amazon, it could be DV360, it could be Google Ads, and you're doing all that together. And then strategy plus execution across multiple DSPs platforms at once. Then you are directly accountable for campaign KPIs or key performance indicators, ROAS, return on ad spend, and the client happiness. Because you are representing the client and running their ads, you are directly speaking with the Google teams, Amazon teams, and you are running these campaigns. So you are responsible for clients' happiness as well. Constant client communications are done by you. You run QBRs like quarterly business reviews, you run decks, performance stories. So all that is done here in the agency side. Then revenue is tied to media spend and management fees, not the platform usage. Your career ladder should look like: starting from a trader, you become a senior trader, then you become an account manager, and then you become a senior manager. Luckily, I have been in 3 or 4 responsibilities of these, so I can tell you agency side gives you a lot more learning. But if you are on the platform side, your life and work life balance is much more relaxed, although both the roles and responsibilities for both the sides are good. Okay, many companies hire for account manager. Okay, programmatic account manager is the bridge between the trading desk and the client. What are the tools required to become a programmatic account manager? So let's start with the basics. You should know at least one or two of DSPs like DV360, Trade Desk, Amazon DSP. And if you know all three of them, it's great for you. You can get free certifications for them on Skillshop, on Amazon DSP's website, on Trade Desk's website. If you want, I'll add the links in the description here, and you can get these free certifications done before applying for these roles. Then PowerPoint knowledge, Google Slides knowledge for creating QBR decks, it's great for you. Then Salesforce or similar CRM platforms knowledge to use the audiences, first party audiences. It would be a great plus if you know all that. Excel, as I already told you, is a universal tool in all programmatic roles. So Excel knowledge would be required even if you're applying for programmatic account manager or an ops manager or a trader. Then if you know Looker Studio, it would be a plus for you, because Looker Studio and Tableau are those platforms from which you can showcase your data and dashboards in a very presentable way. So for client ready reporting, you can use Looker Studio and Tableau. Even if you know basics, it would be a plus for you when you are applying for these roles. The responsibilities of account manager include owning the client relationship, like you are the single point of contact for strategy based questions for the client that you're running campaigns for. Then you translate clients' goals into a media or programmatic strategy. You tell them to increase the CTR as per the given data. I would be using these particular creatives in this particular channel of the funnel. So you are responsible for translating client goals into media or programmatic strategy. The trading team can execute them. You lead QBRs, performance reviews, renewal, upsell conversations, to increase budgets, to decrease budgets at certain line items. You do all that. You get the approvals for budgets, flights, campaign strategy shifts. You are the person responsible for deciding the strategy alongside client, that this should be your strategy going forward on certain channels. You're the coordinator between traders and senior process executives, media planning team, and creative teams. You would be the single channel person would reach out, even if it's a SPE or in a media planning team, so that because you are the account manager leading this particular project now. Then you manage escalations when performance dips or client is unhappy. So you are the one who conveys these messages. You are the point of contact between trader and the client. You are the one who identifies growth opportunities based on channels, formats, and higher spend. You are the person who would be responsible on understanding if TV360 is working better or trade desk for certain channels. So you provide that information to client, that if you put in more budget in trade desk rather than DV360 for these particular creative or these particular funnel strategies, then it would be good for you. The next role includes senior manager and team leader. And generally people who have worked as account manager in a certain team get promoted to this particular role, but many companies hire it directly, outsource them. So what are the tools and skills required? First let's discuss that. So same platform as team at a review or oversight level. So you should be aware of all the tools that your team is using, like DV360, Amazon. But on a because you want to review them, you want to ensure that they are doing their job correctly. Because now you are the senior manager or the team leader. Okay, you are running the people and the process, not just a campaign. Now you are responsible for people and their responsibilities as well. And then process and QA tools like SOP docs, Six Sigma frameworks. I recently did Lean Six Sigma black belt, and if you want to do that as well, you can contact me over Instagram. I will share a link with you that is from Careers IQ, and they provide a great prize for all the belts across Six Sigma. So if you are planning to do that, you can reach out to me on my Instagram, which is Rishul Sethi. I'll add it in the description. Then your responsibilities also include people tools like 101 trackers, performance dashboards, and then advanced Excel BI tools. So Power BI and Excel are a plus for you. Excel is like a necessary, Power BI is a plus for you for team level reporting and managing the reporting dashboards. Strong stakeholder and people management is required. That is one skill you should be having being a leader. Your responsibilities as a team leader are: you own a book of business or a pod of accounts. Okay, the revenue retention target, all that becomes your responsibility now. You should be able to manage, coach and upskill traders, SPEs and account managers. So they would reach out to their team leaders whenever they have some sort of problem. So you should be responsible for that. You set the process standards, the SOPs, QA checklist, escalation paths. So everything should be clear. You should be able to define what the SOPs for your particular team should be look like. You drive process improvement, that is taught in Lean Six Sigma, and it's a great plus plus for you. Represent the team in senior client conversations and internal reviews. And then you own hiring, performance reviews, and capacity planning for the team. You're the bridge between strategy from leadership down to daily execution team. So you tell the senior hierarchy how your traders are doing and what good they are doing, what bad they are doing, what kind of shifts are required, what kind of upskilling training are required for certain people. Next role would be media planning team. Okay, so media planning team works as a separate entity from programmatic team, but they are equally responsible for running the campaigns as they provide us with the media and the plans that we are running. Many people move into media planning team from within the programmatic department or vice versa. So you can directly apply for these roles, and the tools which you should be aware of and you should have knowledge on are ComScore, Nielsen, GWI. So I am not that proficient in these tools, I'll be honest with you, but I have talked to many media professionals in media planning team, and these are the tools that they have been using. They are used for audience and market research purposes. Excel is basics, because using Excel only you will be building up the plans and you will doing the budget splits across different insertion orders, campaigns or line items. Then PowerPoint skills are highly required, because you create the media plan decks which are presented to the clients. Then platform reach and forecast tools like basics of DV360, Trade Desk and planning tools, CM360 are highly required. Okay, your responsibilities in media planning team are: you decide where and how the budget should be spent. Okay, what channel or media mix should a certain budget go to, be it if your budget is going to programmatic or display or video or social or search. So you are the person responsible to decide what budget goes to which particular team, and then you do the budget splits across channels and flight timings. You build the media plan document that traders and AM teams execute against. So when media plan team sends trading team or programmatic team a plan, then they execute it on the DSPs. You define the KPIs, what key performance indicators should be, what the success benchmark for each channel looks like for social we are looking at this number of conversions, for programmatic we are looking at this number of ROAS or number of impressions, for Google ads or paid we are looking at this number of views. So each KPI is decided by the media planning team itself, based off the previous data that they have received. You work closely with AMs, because on daily basis they would reach out to you to get the media plans and get the approvals. So you work on strategies with traders, what is the feasibility, if they can run certain campaigns or not, if they can run certain creatives on certain dates or not, and what are the challenges and what are the new opportunities that traders can be working on. So all that is discussed with the media planning team. The next team that I'm going to discuss is the analytics team, a very understated team, because they work on something which is highly influential in running these campaigns across programmatic platforms. So the responsibilities actually are turning raw campaign data into decisions. Upon review of their data, the next strategy or next quarter or next month's budget is decided. So the tools that you should be actually knowing to join an analytics team in any programmatic campaign team are GA4 or Google Analytics 4, a free certification provided by Skillshop. I'll add the link in description. It's a plus plus if you know Tableau or Looker Studio, because you will be responsible for presenting your data. SQL for pulling and joining large data sets. SQL is also a must in many companies. SQL is a tool which is used to pull out the data and again to present the data in a presentable way. Excel knowledge is must here also, because you would be working on pivoting tables, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. This all is basic for a person working in analytics team. Python and R's knowledge for modeling is a plus plus. I won't say it's a necessary requirement, but if you know it, it would be required in bigger teams. Platform reporting APIs like DV360, Trade Desk, and Amazon's knowledge is also must. Even if you know basics, it's good for you to join an analytics team. Now, your responsibilities are building dashboards and automated reports for AMs on Google Analytics 4, because you would be pulling the data on daily basis how each campaign, each insertion order or line item is doing. So you would be communicating all that with AMs and clients. You would be deep diving into analysis. Why did performance move? What's driving it? Why we spent some budget and why we didn't? Attribution modeling like multi-touch, incremental, media mix. If you want to understand how attribution works, I've made a separate video over it. I'll add the link above in the tag. Data hygiene, how tagging QA works, how tracking implementation checks work. So all this include responsibilities of analytics team. You pull insights that inform the next flight strategy. As I already told you, you support pitches with data storytelling. Your data or the data that you have pulled from these particular campaigns will drive the story of the next campaign. Then comes the creative team. Many people want to work in creative teams, but the tools that you should be hands on with are Adobe Creative Suite, which includes Photoshop, Premiere Pro, After Effects, because you would be responsible for creating the creatives. Figma for latest tool used for layouts and collaborations. Google Web Designer Studio for HTML5 display ads, a very much used tool in programmatic. DCO platforms like Flash Talking, Innovid, CM360 Studio. I have personally started my career being in the creative team, so I understand how challenging it can be if somebody is just starting up. But if you are a creative person, I always suggest you to start with the creative team, because when you understand how the creatives are designed, you are able to market them better. Your daily responsibilities in creative team would look like designing display video and native creatives in required ad sizes. It's mostly a robotic job rather than being a creative person, because your creativity can only is only limited to certain ad sizes. So be ready for that. You need to build dynamic creatives, multiple versions for different audiences and products. That's where your creativity would shine. Now you need to ensure creativity meets each platform's specifications and policy guidelines as well, because if you're breaking the policy guidelines, there's no point of creating these creatives. Localize or resize creatives for different markets and placements, running creative testing, which version performs best. Although this is done by the traders, but they work alongside creative team on providing information which creatives worked better or which part of creative is a must for client. So if you can use that in different ad size. Working with traders to make sure the right creative serves the right audience, as I already discussed. How to break into programmatic. Okay, the certifications worth having, which we already discussed, and I will be adding these in the description also, are Google's DV360 certification. It's free of cost using Skillshop. I suggest you to take the free Skillshop certification and not pay for any third party DV360 or programmatic certifications, because they are of no use in big agencies or product side companies. Nobody asks if you have taken some YouTubers certification or not. Google Ad certification, search and display, it's good for you. The Trade Desk Edge Academy certification, free of cost again. Amazon Ad certification, Lean Six Sigma, it's a huge plus for you if you are applying for ops role, process roles. IAB Digital Media Buying Planning certificates, tools to know before you apply. You should be at least hands-on on one DSP, be it DV360, Trade Desk, or Amazon DSP. And then Excel knowledge is basic across all the roles. Google Analytics 4 basics is required. If you have that, it's a good point for you. What actually gets you the interview? So a short portfolio or a case study, if you can make it, please make it, because it helps you a lot. Even a mock campaign plan or a DV360 setup screenshots, it would be great plus for you. Then comfort with numbers, be ready to talk through CTR, what how I improved the CTR, the CPM, viewability, how I improved pacing, and what are the formulas, what is the maths that I apply. All that is a plus for you when you're applying for interviews. Clear explanation of real time bidding and how a bid request or response works. If you want to understand this particular topic in depth, I have made a video, I'll add it above. Entry paths, digital marketing executive ops role, or like a senior process executive, then or from media intern you get it lateral into programmatic. For freshers, campus hiring is done across many big agencies like Dentsu Group, MWPP, and for GCC style companies like GOC or Amazon Operation Center, the platform teams are always like a door in entry for you to get into programmatic roles like I started. So show you follow the space, mention recent platform updates or industry shifts in interviews, keep on following me. I always share out what the new updates in the industries are going, and for just like me there are other YouTubers which are doing great content like Senator Viran and Umar Taskir. You can follow them as well. They share really great information on programmatic tools. Then the career ladder, quick recap, one notebook page to remember it all. So first you become a senior process executive or a trader or a AM. You run campaigns day to day. Then you become a programmatic account manager. You own the client relationship. Then you become a senior manager or a team leader. You own the team and the process. Your job role becomes more of managing people. And similar parallel track runs across media planning team, analytics team, and creative team. So you should start with a free DSP certification, a mock campaign, that's foot in the door. So that's all about today's video. If you find any value from my content, please comment down below and let me know what next topic should I cover. And thank you so much for watching it till the end. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do it, share it with somebody who is looking to shift into programmatic. Follow me on Instagram and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.